And now, introducing your host, LFA.
What's up, brothers? In today's video, we're going to discuss a taboo subject that is one of Mother Nature's hidden superpowers that can take your game to the next level, not just with women, but in life in general. Now, this is a subject that most men are unaware of, and the men that are aware of it, for the most part, don't have the discipline to put it into practice. So if you're a man who is able to put this discipline into practice, you will skyrocket your success rates and you will put yourself in the upper echelon, the top percentile of men. Thousands of men are starting to apply this and they're all getting results. So if you're somebody that wants to shoot this idea down, what I recommend is that you give it 7 to 14 days. And if you're not already seeing amazing results in 7 to 14 days, go ahead and quit. It's not for you. But if you're experiencing amazing results, I recommend that you apply this in a more permanent way. And I'm not joking at all. This is 100% serious. As a matter of fact, get out a pencil and a piece of paper. I've got some things I want to talk about. All right, now before we get into the subject, which is retention, I want to discuss the human sex drive, because you need to understand the way the human sex drive works before you can understand how this power is going to work for you. Let's start with the female sex drive, because we have females and we have males. The female sex drive operates in cycles. So you may notice your girlfriend or, a woman out there that you're speaking with, roughly a week before she goes on her period, her sex drive is at its peak level. So her hormones are thrown out of whack. She's got endorphins going through her body. She just feels good. She feels ultra feminine. She feels ultra sexy. She feels flirtatious. She just wants to be promiscuous. So you may see her giving you choosing signals. It could just be a small piece of eye contact. She wants you to notice her. Maybe she walks past you. She's dressed differently. She feels sexy. And she wants you to notice her. And that's because her body is telling her that it's time to find a mate, find the man that she desires, and hook up with him. Right? That is how the female sex drive works. And then a few weeks later, it might tell her that it's time to chill. So she may have a bitchy attitude. Her body is saying, tell these men to back off. You don't need them right now. Anyways, that's how the female sex drive works. Now the male sex drive, obviously, we don't have a cycle. That's not the way it works for us. We have retention. I want you to write that down, save the video, remember this part, because this is what I want you to understand. We have retention. So the average coomer out there, the 90% guy that jacks off to internet porn, what happens to him is he cooms and he loses that drive. But a man who has discipline, who's not constantly cooming, he's not constantly watching porn or hooking up with low-level women. By low-level women, they might be beautiful women, but they're not the women that he desires. They're not the women that he loves and respects and really wants to be with. They're just women that he can coom with. And he's looking for the path of least resistance, so he's using porn and easy women. So a guy that is practicing retention, what's going to happen with him is he's going to view women in a different way. The coomer is naturally a simp because he is constantly depleted and sedated, right? And he just is searching for that next coom. But a man who is on retention, he has integrity, he has discipline, and he understands that the longer he retains, the higher his peak gets. As his sex drive goes up, his competitive drive goes up. His ability to perform goes up. His discipline, his toughness goes up. Just like the woman who is, when she's at her peak sex drive, she's feminine, she's sexy, she's exuding this sensual feminine energy that men admire and men respect. When the man is retaining, he's exuding a masculine energy. He's walking with his chest out. He just looks more masculine. His voice is deeper. He's more competitive. He's stronger. He's ahead of the other guys. Nobody really knows why, but he's that energetic alpha of the room, and that's because he's retaining. Now, when you're a man who's retaining, what's going to happen? You hit 7 days and you say, wow, I feel euphoric. I feel amazing. I feel strong. I feel focused. And you don't want to lose that feeling. And you'll start to realize the porn that you used to coom to and the low-level women that you used to coom with. These are almost demonic forces that are trying to steal your nuts. They don't want you to retain. They want your nuts. You'll find women that you used to coom with reaching out to you. And they're saying things like, please let me come over. And you're making up excuses like, no, I have to get up early in the morning. I can't tonight. And she's trying to overcome objections. She's saying, I'll be in and out. It'll only take a few minutes. Just let me come by. She wants your nuts. She wants you to coom. But you have discipline now, you have integrity, and you're not going to give your nuts to just any woman. So what ultimately happens is the women that you want the most, the women that you love and respect, not the women that you know are easy, the women that the path of least resistance women that you can just coom with, not those women, the women you really desire, maybe the number one woman that you want the most. That is the only woman that can get your nuts. And when you're performing at a high level, more often than not, the woman that you desire, she's going to notice this. She's going to notice you have integrity, you have discipline, you're super masculine, you're oozing vitality, you look ripe, you have the good milk, the good seed. There's something different about you. You're also competitive. You're ahead of the rest of the men. You are a man that other men look up to, admire, and respect. You're a man that women are attracted to, turned on by, love, and want to fuck. You are a man that strangers want to approach. They want to get to know you better. They want to learn what it is you have. They want to pick your brain. There's just something different about you. And that's because 98% of men are cooming, they're depleted, they're sedated, you're fully charged, you're fully loaded, you're performing at an optimal level. And the only way you're willing to sacrifice this vitality, sacrifice this life force that you have within you, is for the right woman. So for a woman to take your nuts from you, she is going to have to naturally step her game up, even the woman that you want the most. And here's why this works, because that same woman is used to men simping for her. Women don't feel sexy when men are constantly pursuing them and simping for them, because these men come off as desperate. They're thirsty. They're not a challenge. She doesn't feel sexy when a man who is not a challenge is trying to have sex with her. Women feel sexy when a man is a challenge, when he is very attractive, and she knows other women want him, other men want to be him. And now she gets to step her game up. She can dress differently. She can flirt with him. She can try to be more provocative. When she's at her best, she can do her best to get his attention. And when she does this, she's naturally feeling sexy. She's feeling like she's in her feminine. She's feeling like she's being submissive for him. You know, it's a whole different game. You know, you're bringing out the best of her, the best from her. And she's really going to be turned on by this. You know, simply because you're not a depleted coomer that is just simping for women. Now you have integrity, right? You can get any woman you want. She knows you have a thing for her. She can read your emotions. but she also knows you have the discipline to reject her. And also, by all means, you don't want to give her your nuts yet. You don't want her to have your nuts. You want to keep your nuts because you're performing at such a high level. And when she steps her game up to the next level and she gets your nuts, that's an accomplishment for her. And, you know, typically when you have sex with a woman, that's a bond that, you know, it just creates a whole different aspect. It's like you're joined at the mind when you're at this level. You're not at that coomer, perverted porno version of sex. Now you're at this natural, this peak level of sex that can only happen when you're a man that retains, when you're at an optimal level. Now, every man secretly desires to be that man, right? I'm sure if you've been through a time period when you're a depleted, sedated coomer, you may think you're doing okay. You know, maybe you have a good mouthpiece. You're doing a good job speaking with women. You know, you're doing okay. You've got a decent job. You're going to the gym and all that stuff. Things seem to be okay. But all of a sudden, an energetic alpha walks into the room. A man who is retaining. You're not sure what he has that you don't have, but there's definitely something there. And other women are noticing him. The woman you want maybe is noticing him. And it's kind of devastating, right? No man wants to be in that position. You want to be the energetic alpha of the room. And knowing that 98% of men either don't know about this practice or don't have the discipline to apply this practice, that should be a big enough reason for you to give it a try. What do you have to lose? Because let's be honest, if you're a guy, a 98% guy, jacking off to porn and sleeping with low-level women, it's not working. You know it's not working, even when your notch count is getting high, because a lot of guys, they think, well, you know, once I reach 50 women, once I reach 100 women, then I'm a real man. But you realize as you're on that journey, you're going down this wrong path, this path of low integrity and low discipline. You're not getting the results internally that you want. You don't feel like you're accomplishing anything. And that's because you're not. You're just cooming for no reason. You're wasting your time. Your life is going to move in the direction of your strongest thoughts. And if you're creating an addiction to bizarre and kinky porn and low-level women, just cooming for no reason, that's the direction your life goes. But when you're retaining and you're practicing discipline, you're on another level. You're only accepting the women you really want to be with, the top tier women, the women that you consider to be the top percentile, the highest echelon of women. These are the only women that get your nuts. You demand perfection on every level, and your life starts to change. It carries over in every aspect of your life, because when you start to improve one area, it becomes a habit. It develops your character. Your character is now a disciplined individual. Your drive on every level is performing at its optimal level. You're only wanting the best of the best for yourself. And all of a sudden now you've changed who you are. You're a different man. Other people know it. You know it. And you're never going to look back. I guarantee you. So 7 to 14 days. Give it a try and see what happens. If it doesn't work, quit. But if it does work, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. That's all I ask. I'm not selling you courses. You know, by all means, you can go do whatever you want to do. But we're trying to change lives one person at a time. And I recommend, and I truly believe that if you give it a try, you'll be one of those people. So I hope this video was somewhat informative. And that's about all we have for today, guys. Until next time, see ya.